Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you guys around my brand new office. I guess it's not brand new, it's the same room, but I completely redid it and I'm going to show you guys around. I got so many new things and it just works so much better in this space than my last space. I've also redone my office like a couple times now, so I'll link those videos down below. I did a full office makeover, so I'll be sure to have that link down below for you guys as well if you're interested in watching that to see how the last office came together. But this office in general has been such a work in progress from the very beginning of XOXO Charlie. It started off as just one little table with my brother's sewing machine, and now it's evolved into this. It is so cool to like reminisce and look back on old photos and just realize how far I have truly come from that first picture. Anyways, let's just get right into it. I'm gonna start over by the door. So here's the door to like come into my office, and first thing that I have to the right here is all my little notes from you guys that I get in my P.O. box. I like to just tape them up here and just keep them. So that's what I have over on this wall. Then we have my ironing board. This is one of the few things that I haven't replaced since the very beginning of XOXO Charlie. This is actually like our ironing board that we've just had around forever, and it somehow just became mine, and same with the iron. I've had a couple questions on this. This is the Shark, and I don't even know what this is actually called, but it's a Shark iron. That's the one that I use. Ironing board, and then which way should we go? Let's go this way actually. So like I said, ironing board. And let me actually say first two things. One, my dad really helped me organize this office, and we found out that having different stations for my office was a really good way to go about organizing it, because I have so many different things and they need like different components around them, whether it's like a table to the left and the right, or if it's a chair right here, or if it's like organization on the back table. Like there's all different things that I want about the station, and so we had to like fully gut the room and then bring it back in and make these little stations. So this is our first station, which is just ironing, and this was really important for me to like have nothing by it, so I figured just this wall could be dedicated to just ironing. This right here we have for when I'm cutting my fabric. This I can just write down what fabric I'm running low on, and I can order some more of that. This right here I'll probably blur, or hopefully you can't read it, but these are all my little notes of the measurements that I cut for my products, so that when I'm cutting right here, I can just refer to this and see my exact measurements if I forget one. Moving back into the corner here, we have some of the fabric bolts that I don't use as frequently back here. I also have my Pellon, and then I have cotton fabric as well. I have a lamp. This lamp I got from Target. Oh, another thing that I was going to preface is so many of these are from Amazon. Like a lot of the different things in my office are from Amazon. So I'll be sure to have everything linked down below, and my full Amazon storefront if you're interested. And I don't think my full tripod could fit in the closet at this point. It is so jam-packed. But this is really the only wall that is XOXO Charlie. I guess the other side is a lot of storage and things in here, but these I put in my first studio makeover. So we have like zippers, we have even more zippers and more zippers. This I think is yarn, hats, what is in here? Oh, fabric corner bookmarks, and like the glove that I use to cut with them. And then I think these are just, oh, more zippers, and then, oh, this is actually empty. Oh, besides one little gift tag. And then these are all defective products. I know that is that whole bin. It barely even shuts at this point. But these used to be out in my office previously. I just figured they're gonna be a lot better as storage in here. So the whole point of these 10-tier shelves is that I can put my quilted fabric on here that's cut out to the exact size of a keychain wallet. I can easily just grab 2 pieces and then go make that wallet. So that is everything on this wall. And then like we also have this bin for some limited edition wallets. And then on this wall it goes down to pencil cases. So same idea as the wallets, just pick 2 up and make it, but just pencil cases instead. Then over on this wall we have so much packing supplies. We also have more behind this of like different sizes. It's just a lot easier to order this in bulk, so that's why I have so much stored. Then we have makeup bag, plastic bags for when I pack those up. These are a little bit bigger for mini totes. These are even bigger yet for Bible tote or Bible sleeves. And then these are for large tote bags. Then we have these little organizers. These I also got in my first office makeover. And these I just got from At Home. So we have zippers. I cannot believe how many zippers I have. This is crazy. We have some pre-cut fabric. We have all my different ribbons in here, and yeah, I guess like ribbon to pack stuff, to make bows, all different kinds of ribbons. And then in here we have like all different materials from bows to buttons, a lot of different things for like making my products or making a limited edition collection. Then back here we have a lot of like random things. We just have kind of my filing system here. We have labels, my hard drive, well, my old one. We have rotary blade replacements. We have things to laminate labels. We have my old laser that I don't really use as much. The quilting light that came with my Juki 8700, all different things. And then down on these ones, we also have like some fabrics that are cut out. These are all scrap. And then we have like the crocheted bags that I did and then some more fabric. And then these bins here, we just have some packing supplies. So like labels, bags. This one is materials to make my AirPod cases. We have even more materials down here to make AirPod cases and like elastic for scrunchies. This elastic for Bible totes. We have tons and tons of bias tape because I would hate to run out of this for making makeup bags. Moving on, so that was a closet over there. We have my cutting table. So this is like the cutting station. So this is my Fiskars mat. This is actually a replacement mat for my first one. They have a really good warranty on their mats, and I just submitted it that it got literally cut through. I used it so frequently, and they sent me this new one. The nice part about it is that it is grippy on the back, and where you can see those white parts is where it folds. So it can actually fold on itself if you're packing it up to go. Unlike the other one, you couldn't pack it up at all, but this is my mat. I use a 36-inch one. I would say if you're cutting fabric with a rotary blade and a mat, you're probably to the point where you're gonna want the biggest mat possible. I know I have every other size down in my closet because I started with a smaller one, that didn't work, so I went up a little bit, and then eventually I got to the largest one. I wish that the whole table was just a cutting mat at this point. But yeah, brief overview, we have some brand new organizers on the back wall, which I know some of you guys have recognized and were wondering where those are from. Again, these are from Amazon. They're the same as what I have in the closet, and I'll show you up close about all of those. But down below we have all my bolts of fabric that I frequently cut from. So the not very frequent ones we had over in the corner. These ones are fabric that I'm frequently cutting from for orders, whatnot. We have my trash can for when I'm actually cutting fabric. We have a little filing system, which I'll show you. And then we have all of these bolts, which are all my liners. So those are outer fabrics, these ones are liners. Okay, let me bring in. So the main reason for all of these is because I used to have so many scraps, like what I showed you in the closet in those bins, and I would never do anything with them. So I figured out some exact sizes that I can cut them to make certain products. Like my makeup bag corners that I cut off, I can turn into gift tags. My squares that I cut off of totes, I can turn into fabric corner bookmarks. And so I kind of created like little homes for all of those different scraps back here so that when I'm cutting, I can easily just organize them into which bin they're supposed to go into, instead of creating a pile of fabric on my table, which I frequently had, and it drove me nuts. Like, I cannot stand that. So our first tier, we have product down here, or not product, we have material down here in this little organizer. This organizer I got from At Home, and it has all my different bows for like Kindle sleeves. We have some like random little pieces for making some old mini makeup bags. We have some one-of-a-kind labels, some XOXO Charlie labels. These are my buttons for my Bible totes. And then we have the elastic for the Bible totes too already cut out. So that's what's in that little organizer, just because I frequently use those while I'm over here at the cutting table, just pinning products. We also have some tape down there for taping some labels onto product. We also have my pin cushion, pin pockets onto liners. That's pretty much all down there. Then we have these two bins are full of the squares from mini totes, and everything is labeled. I just use like a little label printer to label all my different bins. But all of those, clearly, I need to take them off and make some I will eventually turn into fabric corner bookmarks. Going up, we have the squares for my makeup bags, which I also need to work on. And then at the top, we have squares from my Bible totes, and then we have the Bible tote straps. Another huge benefit to doing this is that I can have my pre-cut fabric out here, as opposed to having it in the closet all the time like I used to. So for example, Bible tote straps, I will cut more than I actually need to make for one Bible tote, and then I can save the remainder up in that tote. So that the next time that I need to make that, I literally just go up to that bin, grab it, and I don't need to cut it. And so that kind of leads us into this one. We have down here all these little scraps I'm eventually gonna tie onto the top of gift tags. So that's getting pretty full. So is our gift tag bin, so I definitely need to make some of those. Right here we have makeup bag liners. Up here is like a lot that are in the works, but then down there we actually have a lot that are cut out so that I can easily just grab them and make those. Then we have makeup bag outers. So typically I cut 2 at a time, and I'm only really making 1 at a time for an order. So then the other one will go into this bin. And let's say somebody ordered like a blue floral makeup bag. I could just take this out and grab this blue floral off the top and make it. Same goes with pencil cases. That's what all of these are. Then we have different size squares here. We have 2.5 and we have 3-inch. And these I'm keeping for like scrap tote bags or makeup bags or any scrap products that I would just want to sew together some squares with. Otherwise, all of these would have ended up in the trash, and I think it's really fun to make some patchwork stuff. So I save all those squares. We have Bible tote outer and Bible tote liner, and then we already have one made up here. Yeah, that's about it for that tier. Moving on to the third tier, we have down here AirPod cases. We have outers, liners, and the Pallon to make all of those. This is just kind of a bin with like all extra hand sewing materials, so I always just keep that right there. We also have a little coaster in the back if I need a coaster for while I'm cutting. We have 2-inch squares. We have 5-inch squares. So again, just kind of like our 2.5 and 3-inch. I just save these for different scrap products, or like the crew necks I use the 5-inch squares for. I just put those onto my Cricut and cut them out. So really nice to just have those pre-cut from just scraps that I was cutting. And then moving up, we have tablet and laptop sleeves cut. So these are outers and liners for specific sizes. So this is 13 tablet, 15 and 14, and then we have the large totes and the mini totes, just everything for those, whether it's straps, liners, or outer fabric. Up here we have my pre-cut pockets because I cut a lot of those at the same time. And moving on to our very last tier for on the cutting table, we have straps down here. We have my brand new electric rotary cutter. I'm so excited to use this thing and like actually use it for collections and like cutting really big amounts of fabric. So I just store that right down here. It's got little wheels on the bottom, so it makes it easy. Up here we have a lot of strips that I can either turn into our fabric corner bookmarks, or I can also use these to make into wristlets. So I just kind of leave them in the strips so that I can decide what I want to do with those. Then we have Pallon for Bible sleeves, large book sleeves, medium book sleeves, and Kindle sleeves. Once these run out, I'll just cut out a whole bunch to fill it all up so that I don't have to like constantly cut these. And these are really just easy to grab off the shelf to make those book sleeves. And then up there we have the batteries for my rotary cutter. So like I mentioned earlier, these are all my outer fabrics that I frequently use. I can easily just go through these. Someone needs a colorful picnic makeup bag, I first check my bin up there, and then I can just easily take this out and cut it up on my table and put it right back. We also have a file organizer here. I did labels on these, but I mainly did them in like stacks of 3 to organize them because I know it goes outer pocket liner, and so these are all small, medium, and large, and these are all for my Kindle and book sleeves. So I can easily pull this out and see what I already had cut previously. So if I need a small vintage blue Kindle sleeve, I can just go through here and grab the outer fabric if I already have it cut, and then I can grab the pocket, and then I can also grab the liner, which we have white liners somewhere else. So these are all just the colorful liners, the different colored liners, I guess. And that goes for size medium as well. We have outer pocket and liner. And this is really nice to have right by my cutting board because before I cut out this bright floral, I can just make sure that I don't cut too much, and I can just double check all the size small, size medium, size large that I already have, depending on what product I'm making. Up here, these I previously was bulk prepping, but I just need to continue those and get those all done. So this is just kind of like an extra stack. And then once again, all of our liner fabrics are here. And now moving on to what is under the table. So these are little pieces of batting that I've already cut, and these are like to a certain size that I can put like mini totes on or makeup bags on. These are just like out of the packaging, and I can just use these first. But back there I have all of my extra fabric, and I really just like to keep all of these on hand, at least 1 extra bolt per fabric, sometimes 2. Like this colorful picnic is pretty popular, so I always keep 2. So I always check that before I order more fabric, just to make sure that I don't have any more back there, or if I run out of one up here, I can just grab one from back there. And then once again, we have like some that I don't use as frequently, and then we also have the white fabric. I always keep a lot of that that on hand. So this is how it looks from the front. That's all of our fabric right there. And then we also have batting back here as well. I think I have about like 12 bags stuffed back there right now. I always keep a ton of that on hand too, just so that I don't run out and then I'm not stressed about making products. And then we also have some more packing supplies back there. I know you can't really see all of this, but that is what goes under the table. And that is one of the nice parts about these huge cutting tables is I have so much storage room underneath, which is something that's hard to come by in this small of an office, is I need places to just be able to store things, which you'll see later on as well. But moving on, so our cutting station was over here. Moving on to the next side, we have even more of these 10-tier shelves. These are on Amazon once again. I've gotten so many of these and I just love them. And this part of the office was very important to me when I was doing the makeover, because previously I had this bookshelf right next to my table that I sat at frequently. It wasn't close to the cutting station at all, and it had all of my extra cuts of fabric. So when I finish off a bolt, usually there's like some fabric left, like I don't go to the very end of it, and then that little remnant I can just put right onto here. I can allocate it to a specific stack, just like match the fabrics, and then when I need that fabric for cutting, before I go to the bolt, I'll always check right here. I literally just walk over from my cutting station, check if I have it, and I say, oh yes, I do have some red gingham, let me go see the size. So this is not only for like usability, but then also when I am cutting off of a bolt and I have that remnant, it's so much easier to like allocate it to its specific location. So up here we have white fabric. This is, well, I guess this is like the liner. This is also white fabric, but I use this for labels. And then we have like all of our popular fabrics, and I put the liner with the outer fabric. So like here we have pink hearts, and then I put the pink liner on top of it. And that's just because I'm usually cutting those together, so I'll probably just grab the whole stack. Same with like ditzy pink, pink and yellow floral, cherries, all of those. Then moving down to the bottom, we once again have a lot of my popular fabrics. And then we have my tripod for filming. I just like to keep this as close as I can to my sewing station, because something that will deter me from filming something is having to get up and get my tripod. So I just keep that on hand at all time. We have some more outer fabrics, and then I started allocating them by certain either colors or materials. So here we have all of my satin fabrics that I'm gonna make into some scrunchies. These two stacks are gonna be really nice for limited edition collections, because I can just come over here, see if I have a certain color in my solids, and then, you know, grab that specific red and cut it. Instead of always having to go to the store to try and match fabric, I can just look at these two stacks. These are also outer fabrics. I don't know why they're down here, but I think I just ran out of room from up above, and I don't have that much of them. These are all my different ginghams, so if I need a gingham for a limited edition collection or even a liner, I can just grab that from here. These are previous outer fabrics that I no longer carry. I guess this one's a liner, but these ones are just not used as frequently as all of my other fabrics, so I just put those down here in their own stack. So we have like ditzy purple, we have the cherries on pink, and then we have the blue that goes for the liner of the vintage blue mini tote. And then this whole stack is discontinued fabric, or I can also use these for like some limited edition collections. I think that'd be cool to just get rid of that stack at some point. And then down here we have a lot of miscellaneous things. So we have my drawstring holiday bags that are already made. We have like some materials to make some keychains, and then we also have fat quarters down here in this pink bin for different fabrics. But that's really all that's on this shelf, is just fabric that's already been cut. Then moving over to our next shelf, this has a lot of materials that I use to make all of my products, or these are final completed products. So quickly just run down what is on each shelf. This is completed AirPod cases. So when somebody orders an AirPod case, chances are I already have it packaged up and ready and I can just ship it out. So this is just an example of one, but I can look through this entire bin, make sure I don't have it, and then if I don't, I can go ahead and make it. So I just keep that bin up there. These are like that glue, I don't even know what you call this. Oh, heat and bond. This is all the heat and bond for the crew necks that I made and any other future projects that I want to do. These are completed wristlets and AirPod cases for limited edition collections. These are all the scrunchies that I have cut out already, just different strips and sizes and colors. We have zippers here. These are for pencil cases, and I usually, oh, they're down here. I was gonna say I usually have ones for wallets. They were just in that bin down there. So I have wallet and pencil case. And then right here, these were from the very first version of Bible sleeves. I feel like I just need to like make all of these and burn through them to get rid of this, or just turn them into something else. Then down here we have an entire bin of all the sticky notes. So if somebody orders a sticky note, I can easily just grab it from here. Then we have AirPod cases from the Info Bloom collection, just already kind of in the works, but I can finish them up if somebody orders one. Right here we have little bins of So Charlie labels. So these are for like scrunchies or fabric bowls. And then down here I have a little bin of these already made fabric corner bookmarks that I can easily just pack up for people. And those are just about sold out. And then moving down, this will make a lot more sense later, but these are just materials quickly that I can grab for making like wallets and pencil cases. These we can kind of ignore. I'm in the works of making some more pattern weights. So that's what all those are. Once again, more materials. These are makeup bag pull tabs. So these go on the sides of makeup bags, and then these are like strips that I can turn into those pull tabs. And then these are the pull tabs for the keychain wallets. So once again, can easily just grab that bin and make those. Down here we have an empty bin. I haven't quite figured out what to put in this one, but then we have elastics pre-cut for scrunchies. We have the first measurement of bias tape for makeup bags, and then we also have the second one. And then down here I have a whole ton of materials for making keychains. I just keep it all the way down there because I don't use those as much. And it's very convenient to have those materials right here, easily accessible, because that leads us into our first sewing station, which is the Juki TL. I previously had only one of these tables that went on the side of my cutting station, and so I ordered 2 more, so you'll see those 2 later on. But this is our very first little like sewing station, and I like that I have a table on my left side and on my right side so that I can have my pin stuff over here, I can sew it, and then I can set it to my right. This is also another huge thing that I love for this little TL station is all my different threads. I've really collected a lot of thread after making a lot of different limited edition collections. And so we have the top thread, and then I also have the bobbin on the same little peg there. So I just keep them all together, and when I'm making a new limited edition collection, I can just kind of look through, see if I have that certain thread, and if I don't, I can go and buy it, but chances are I'll have something similar. We also have some more of my white top thread here. We have oil for the TL. We have all my different sewing supplies for the TL. We have this little cutter that somebody got for me. They sent it in my PO box, and I just love this thing. So this little piece comes out, and you can use this like when I'm bulk sewing my pockets or something and they're all in one straight line, you can just run that over this and it'll cut all those little thread pieces. Otherwise, you can turn it over and this magnetizes, and then you can put all your pins on the top of this. So I love to keep this over here by my TL. I have one similar to my other machine, but I keep that one over here for that machine. And then behind this little stand, I have a lot of my white thread, like my cotton thread, and then my other white top thread as well. I also keep all my empty bobbins and my full bobbin for my white thread. And when these all run out, I just fill them all up at the same time. This is a brand new lamp. I got this lamp from Target. I have another one over in the other corner that you'll see very soon. And now this is our actual sewing station. I just keep my headphones over here so that I can move these in between both machines. This is the Juki TL 2010. This is a replacement for my TL 2000 that was just kind of just a mess. It was breaking down like every couple of months. I only had it for 6 months and I had to take it in 3 times. So that gives you any kind of idea of the problem that it had. It comes with the extension table. I keep my little Fiskars snips over by this machine because I have some similar that I keep on my other machine. Right now I have the cotton thread on here instead of my regular top thread because I'm doing some bowl koozies. Little slight spoiler for the new collection. But yeah, really easy, and it fits very nice on this desk, which I'll also link down below. This is from Amazon too. Down below, there's really nothing on the floor. We just have my knee lever and then my little foot pedal. And this chair, I believe I got from Target. I got it from there so long ago, but you could probably just find any chair for this setup that you like. Down here, we have my trash can. I always like to throw like threads and things to my left side, so I keep a trash can right there. And then moving along from our first station, we have the shared table, if you will, from these 2 machines. Starting off down below, we have another filing system, but this one this time is for Bible sleeves and then white liners up here. So this one is the same idea as Kindle and book sleeves. We have outer, which I don't have anything cut, but then we have pocket, and then we also have liners down here. And then all of these are the white liners for Kindle and book sleeves, which I always cut so much of at one time so that I don't have to do it as frequently. So these ones are size small, medium, and then we also have size large here. In these gray bins are just some projects that are in the works, so I always just keep those down there out of the way and saves me a lot of space on my tables. And then next to that we have my Cricut cutting mat. I didn't really know what else to do with this, so I just put it right there. And then we also have my Cricut sitting back there next to the trash can. I don't use that very frequently, but if I do need it, I can just easily access it. And like I said, this is kind of the shared table between the two machines. So either I put the completed projects from the 8700 or I put the pinned projects for the TL on this table. We have my little bag of pins, which I just keep in between both tables. We have a coaster. We have my little dish of pins for the 8700. We have labels, and then we also have this little bag full of all my materials for sewing. So we have like fray check, a walking foot. We have some different tools. We have, I think this is actually called the purple thing. Like, I think that's the legit name for this, but it's like to poke out your corners. We have needles. We have like little cleaning supplies. We have everything in this little mini makeup bag. This is the size of the mini makeup bag, so that gives you kind of a reference. And then this is like one of the first little bags that I made for XOXO Charlie, and I decided I wanted to keep it. But in here I keep like templates for my AirPod cases. I keep like this wrench, which these should actually go in this bag, you know? Doing a little bit of cleaning here. But yeah, my little like thread cutter, all sorts of different things. Oh, bobbins for the Brothers sewing machine. Those things are ancient, but I just keep those in there for whenever I need to use that. But yeah, that's really all that I like to keep on that table. I like to keep it really clean and clear so that I can use it really easily as the shared station. And this brings us into our second station. This is the Juki 8700. This is my newest machine. And this is really what caused me to like completely redo the office. So I'm so thankful for this thing, not only because it's a great machine, but it forced me to like redo my whole office. My main problem was with the old setup, I didn't have a table to my left and to my right for the 8700, and that was a real problem because bulk sewing or bulk quilting all of my outer fabric and not having tables to set it on was the biggest pain. I was like setting it on my ironing board, moving the ironing board. It was a mess. So this machine really forced me to like figure out a new system and a new way to set up my office. This thing is amazing though. I made my whole new Frosted Cottage collection on this machine. I did a lot of it on the TL too, but this was a huge portion of the quilting that I did. And I'm just so happy that I got it. I love it, like love. I can't think of like one thing that I don't like. Oh, the foot pedal like going down automatically has squished my fingers before, so that kind of hurts, but otherwise I love it. This chair that I'm sitting on is amazing. It is from Amazon and it is so big that I can put my little pins right next to me while I'm sewing. So if you guys ever see me throwing pins like this, I'm putting them into my bag. While I'm sewing here, I can easily just go along, take the pin out and put it in my little bag. Or if I'm sewing and I need a pin, I can easily just grab it from here. One downside to this setup, like probably the only downside, is that the lamp that this 8700 comes with, it magnetizes to the back of the machine and then you have to plug it in separately from the machine. And that cord is like 2 inches shy from reaching the wall. Yeah, no complaints about this machine. Absolutely love it. And I love how big the area is too. Over in this corner, so this was the 8700, still going with the table. Down here I have my trash bin, which is just full of bubble wrap. I unboxed a lot of things. So once again, I can easily just throw my threads to my left side. And then I also have a table to my left, which is very important. I just love that. Down here we have cup koozies. Those frequently sell online, so I put them in a very accessible area, just this huge bin. And underneath that bin, I have even more koozies. And then what started it all, my little brother sewing machine is down here next to the 8700. I just don't know where else to put it, honestly. But yeah, trash, cup koozies, very, very nice for when I'm sewing here. I can easily just throw my threads. I can grab my fabric. I can put it over here to the side. It's so easy. Once again, this lamp is from Target. It's the exact same as the lamp over in that corner. So we have this whole station, and then moving on, we have another little tier. This is kind of like a mini tier. And this is what I keep all of my limited edition fabrics on. So we have like some fabrics that I'm planning to use in the spring. We have a neutral collection, hoping to do that soon, maybe January. We have some more fabrics. These I got sent from Florida. So cute. I love those, and I have to do something with them during the summer. We have some leftovers from my Frosted Cottage collection, and then we have some huge bags that I'm gonna use for tote bags. Those are new. I just unboxed those, so gotta get those out and put them somewhere. And then we have a little bin back there of bookmarks, some new ones as a little sneak peek. And then that brings us to the office table. So we had the ironing station, we had the cutting station, we just finished the sewing station, and now this is like the packing orders, the logistics, the storing random stuff kind of a table. So over here was our limited edition fabric, that little stand, and then right next to it starts the next table. On the table up here we have wristlets. I usually pull those for like orders. Those are also the same stands that I take to market. So I just keep them on the stand and keep them there for when I need to pack orders. In the back we have a little like metal, I don't know what you call it, like a wall with like little peg hooks in it. I keep all my tools on that. I really want to mount it above one of the side tables for my Jukies, but for now it's gonna have to hang out back there. We have like some more products in the works on the back. Like I said, this is just kind of like I can store random things here. And then we have my huge whiteboard. Obviously we mounted this during the old office setup so I could easily access it. It was right above my ironing board, but now it's not very, unless I literally crawl on the desk, I cannot reach it. The desk is, I think, 39 inches deep, which is the main reason that I love these desks. I can put so much at the back, but the only downside is I can literally not reach the whiteboard. So either I'll have to take it down, move it somewhere else, but I kind of like it up here. Also, everything on this is outdated because I cannot reach it. So yeah, a lot of this planning for YouTube videos is kind of not right. Maybe some of it, but not a lot of it. But then in this corner is where like the main bulk of the work for this desk is being done, so that I can just sit right here. I can pack orders, I can be on my laptop, I can just do a lot of different things and have everything accessible. So starting off back here, we have my little tripod for my camera so that if I need to just film right on my desk, that is here for me. If I need to film voiceovers, my microphone is back here. I can easily just set that up, plug it into my computer, and film a voiceover for some footage. This is my label printer. I also got this from Amazon, same with the labels. And then my dad built this little stand to hold all my stickers on so that when I'm packing orders, I can just pull this and get some stickers for my orders. And this just turns on and then it'll print right in front of me so that I can just fan fold them all and start packing. Moving along, we have some envelopes. Usually I have to like send some stuff out for like business stuff, you know, taxes, whatnot. So I keep all those there. Then we have a huge plug-in for like all my different cords because this is mainly where I do all of the charging of my office. So I keep like my laptop plugged in. I can charge my mics, I can charge my phone, I can charge my camera, I can charge my portable chargers, I can plug in my hard drive back there, everything, honestly. I can also take my cord from my hard drive, plug in my laptop, and easily download some footage off of here onto the hard drive just to save that. So I always do that here as well. Like I said, this area has a lot of like different things going on. But then these two shelves I put here for packing orders. So previously I had that bookshelf and we had all of the packing materials on that bookshelf. And now I'm using that bookshelf somewhere else for like storage. And so I needed to find something else. And these little tiers are just working really well. So we have, first off, let's start up here. So we easily have 6x9 little poly mailer. These are very convenient. I use those for like wallets, cup koozies, any little items I can just take from right here. And then I always put the extras right below it so that I know exactly how many I have. Then we have the smallest bubble mailer that I have. And then moving up, we have, I believe these are like a 10x13 maybe. And then these I can use for like makeup bags, some larger orders, whatnot. And then up here we have, well, first off, this is the paper that I use on my ironing board. But then we have like my notebooks and my planners. And then this is a large poly mailer for like tote bags, Bible sleeves, all different products like that. I don't use those as frequently. That's why I keep my planners and stuff up there. But then on this back wall, we have some materials that I don't use as frequently. So like this size, I really only use for journals, this bubble mailer. So I just keep that right back there. And then up here, we have my tiniest little bubble mailer. So wait, I think I said this was the smallest. This is not the smallest. This is the smallest. So this is for like one keychain, one wristlet, one AirPod case. I just put it right in there. And then we also have like some clear bags. So like this one I put wristlets in for when they're shipping. And I can easily just grab those from right up here. On the back side, also have these rigid mailers. So I put all my bookmarks in these. And when I don't have my bookmarks all packed up in bins for markets, I'll probably just put them on the back wall here so that I can easily just grab those for orders. We also have a little lamp. That lamp is from Amazon. They come in like 2 packs, I think. I think you can also just get it single, but I got so many at one time and I love it. It is perfect and it's tiny and it's just, I love it. I love them. And then down here below our least used packing materials, I also have like a notebook for planning different markets and things. Another notebook. I have like a notebook for everything. So I keep those notebooks down there. My portable chargers, my hard drive. My hard drive I also got from Amazon. I think I got Seagate or something. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but also have that link down below. And then up here we have my little lobster clips that I put on wristlets if people order those. We have like Sharpies, pens, pencils, whiteboard markers, all those things right here, just easily accessible. And I can also grab my poly mailers from this side, or I can restock them from this side. So this is the nice part about having this whole side open, is it is such a deep table, but I can still access everything all the way to the back on these shelves. And under this table is really just a mess of market materials. So we have like my large bins. This is AirPod cases from the Info Bloom collection that I'm still kind of working on. We have little pellets for the weights that I made. Some more bins. We have like some puffy material to put into some product. We have my lights that I use for limited edition collections. Some organizers for keychains. Lots of random little things. And then we also have displays in the back. And then I got another one of these chairs for up here at my office. Same as this one, just not so broken in, and so that I can sit here and here and here. 3 chairs may be overkill, but it is so nice to have chairs in every single place. And then we are back at the door, and that is the entire office. I don't think there's anything that I missed. Yeah, once again, I will have everything linked down below for all the different materials that I use, all the bins, all the shelves, the chairs, the lamps, everything. Oh, I'll also link the light bulbs that I use because, watch this. Siri, turn off the lights. Amazing. Hey Siri, turn on the lights. Look at that.
Done. Office on full power has been played.
So these lights are connected to Wi-Fi, and I can easily just say, hey Siri, turn on night sewing lights.
Okay, done.
I can easily just have Siri dim the lights for me, turn them off, turn them on, and it makes it really easy for like while I'm sewing, I can just, hey Siri, do something, and then Siri can control the lights for you instead of going around to 4 different lamps. So I'll also have those lights linked down below and on my Amazon storefront. They're a light bulb. You can also get plugins, but anyways, not that all of this matters, but thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the new office tour. I love it. This is my favorite setup so far. I know it gets better every single time and it gets more usable for me. So this is the new setup that you guys will be seeing in my brand new videos, which I have a very exciting one coming up very soon, a limited edition collection. It's called the Frosted Cottage collection, and it's coming in, I don't even know how many, like 10? Whoa, like a week. Yes, a week from when this is published. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know, what is your favorite part of the office? Which station? I love it all. I don't have any complaints other than not being able to reach the whiteboard. But thank you guys so much again for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye.